So fast forward, you continue to have mega hits under your belt. You know, we talked about the Shakira, we talked about the Carlos Santana, a lot. Like, I mean, how many albums have you sold to this day? Have you ever actually sat there and counted?
The analytics show with all my work is 100 mil.
100
And
mil.
yeah, and that's why I just knew I had to do something bigger than just music in my life.
Right. You run for president.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, the documentary actually did a pretty good job, I think, of explaining was it Sweet Mickey for President?
Mm-hmm.
I think did a great job. I didn't know all the details. I've interviewed you, I've interviewed Praz, but when I saw that, it kind of made a whole thing out of it. And actually, what was interesting, because when I interviewed Praz a second time at his house in LA, he said that.
Now, to his defense, Wyclef, they eliminated him because they say he wasn't a resident, not a citizen. He wasn't a resident.
A resident, right.
He didn't live there for 5 years. He hasn't lived in Haiti for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's pure bullshit, okay? Because they could have done the same thing for Michelle. Michelle didn't live there for 5 years.
He'd already been living in Miami?
No, yeah, he was living in Miami. So Michelle himself wasn't a resident for 5 years.
Okay.
Now, he had businesses, he has homes, his wife lived there, but his wife was not even a citizen. His wife was born in Queens. Michelle Martelly's wife was born in Queens.
Okay.
So it was bullshit. But the reason why they eliminated Wyclef is because the organization that bodies the rules and the laws felt like, and the president at the time, if Wyclef ran, he can destroy all of them. They thought Michelle had zero shot. The guy who's wearing the diapers, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, we all know, but, right, we don't cry over spoiled milk, right? So at the end of the day, the most important thing is, if you was interviewing me today, it was like, okay, yeah, Clef, it's cool. See, you got the Carnival 3 out, making you come back. See, you starting to appear, start bubble on this chart, that chart. But I have a question for you. When your people was under the rubble, 250,000 people was in an earthquake, dog. Like, why wasn't you on the ground 24 hours after that? When you say you really bout that. I saw you at, you know, at the Grammys the first time. You had your Haitian flag and all of that. Like, so was that for show? So what that showed you that it wasn't for show and tell. At the end of the day, when my people needed me, I had to go there for them. Now, politically, I could not be salty, right? Because this is politics. So at the end of the day, if Prize decides I'm going wrong with this guy because I feel like what Mickey is saying makes more sense than what Clef is saying, right? That can't be personal to me, because at the end of the day, I got one agenda, it's the people, right? So I think that it was an experience, and I would never take that back, because at the end of the day, I think it made me stronger, dog. It really made me stronger.
Yeah. I believe it was last year you started working with Young Thug. And you said that you really connected with Young Thug a lot because of the melodic nature of what he does. You said that you got it right away.
Yeah. So I guess every time I say something on Vlad, then there's always a headline with switch baits and everyone just tunes in. So once again, yeah, like I said with Young Thug, there's a connection. When he brought me in, the music that he played me, a lot of it is not music you heard yet.
Yeah.
So I understood that as not just a musician, naturally I connect, and naturally he'll connect to me. Because keep in mind, Gone to November, da-na-na-na-na, I've always been the melodic rapper, right? At the end of the day, I love singing and I love rhyming. That was our connection. But now, I told you last time that these young kids was going to bring me back in a generation. And streams don't lie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, after Young Thug did this song called Wyclef Jean, we did the I Swear. All of the the EP, which was Juve, the analytics on the stream, 20 million here, 30 million here, 40. It set a new life, right? Now, which brings me to modern day, right? So
The new album.
yeah, but this is even crazier. So this touched me, right? Because we was talking about the connection with the generation. So I see Kodak Black, and Kodak Black is dancing with his mama to a song on Juve, which is called Lady Haiti. And I was so touched by that I was like, when I go to Miami for the carnival, I gotta go meet Kodak Black mama. I gotta go see Kodak Black and see his family. Now, when I went to see Kodak Black, right? Once again, right? Here's your headlines. Kodak Black played me some music, right? I don't think y'all heard this music yet. But do you know where we connected at? What he told me out of his mouth? The Haitians are from the tribe of Levi, the 12 tribes of Judah. Kodak Black out of his mouth understood that 1804, when they gave us our independence, they really was supposed to give it way before that. He had the year and everything. So once again, I think sometimes people are missing to get really in tune, because at the end of the day, we all have multiple sides to us. So for me, what I'm excited about with the Carnival 3 is it's not really a re-emerge of Wyclef, but it's the producers that were 12 years old that was listening to Wyclef, the Super Marios, the Knox, these kids we just signed called the Wavy Gang.
Yeah.
So they went in, and the combination, I said, what happened when hardware meets software? 1997 meets 2017. We put that together and you get the Carnival 3.
And the one thing that I did notice, because I want to talk about the Carnival 3, because that's the main reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I did notice about the Carnival 3 that was different than really all your other albums is that you didn't see a lot of these big names on the Carnival 3, these big, huge features like the Mary J's or the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was that something you did on purpose?
Well, think about it. Like the Carnival 3 is inspired by the kids that were 12 and 13. So everyone who's getting a shot is like Jazzy, Anna Higgins, a lot of names you wouldn't know. And the big name I used was Emily Sandé, because the song that I wanted her to do was Carry On. But once again, all my carnivals has always been about the music and not necessarily about the hype. You know what I mean?
Dope album, man. Listen,
Thank you, man. We keep pushing.
You keep pushing and keep doing it, man. I'm definitely honored to have known you all these years. And
we keep going. I'll be back to talk about the hip hop guitar.